Hey, thanks for checking out Down to Basics. Today we're going to talk about diatonic chords, specifically diatonic chords for major. What diatonic chords mean is that every chord that you make, whether you're in C major, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, all the chords based off of those notes, get the notes from the key signature of your key. So we're going to do it in A major today because just about every music theory book I've ever picked up does it in C major. A lot of people think that after doing that whole lesson or activity that anytime you see a 1 chord, it's C. Anytime you see a 2 chord, it's D. So we're going to do it in A major. And if you watch my previous video, Circle of Fourths and Fifths, it'll help you figure out your key signatures. So by watching that video, I know that in the key of A major, I have 3 sharps, F, C, and G. And those are the only sharps that we're using in this example. So those are the only ones you got to focus on. So if I start with my first chord, it's A. So I'm just building a chord off of A. So how do I build that chord? I'm going to be building it in thirds, which means that each of these notes are a third away. So if I'm starting on A, I have A, skipping B because that's my 2. I need my 3, A, B, C sharp. Remember the 3 sharps, F, C, and G. C is one of them. So there's my first third. My next third would be from my C sharp to my next note. So I have A, B, C, D, E. So I'm skipping my 2 and my 4. And that's not a major third away from C sharp. From C sharp, a major third would be E, E sharp. What I'm doing is I'm doing some kind of 1, 3, and 5, but using the key signature of A. That's the pattern here. Everything that we're doing uses that one key signature. So, without too much talking, we can get into writing this. So I have A, C sharp, and E, just like that. So my A would have A, C sharp, and E. Next chord would be B. And that would be, starting on B, I need 1, 3, and 5. So B, C, D, E, F. So I need some kind of B, some kind of D, some kind of F. B, D, F. And then I use my key signature of A, which means that F has to be sharp, because that is a sharp note in A. And that, if I now think in terms of B major, which has 5 sharps, D is supposed to be sharp, but here it's natural, which makes it a flat 3, or a lowered 3, or a minor third. So that means that my second chord, B, is minor. A is major, B is minor. Okay, so now it just sounds like I'm just writing out a bunch of chords. When am I going to use this? Well, this is going to start making a pattern. So if I start with my first chord, I have a major 1. I use a capital Roman numeral 1. We use Roman numerals because then you can use these patterns and transfer them over to other keys, but also because you can write them in 2 different ways, uppercase and lowercase, to show if it's major or minor. So that's why we use Roman numerals. Our first one is 1. Second one, since it's minor, I'm going to have a lowercase 2, just like that. So let's keep moving on. Next one would be a C sharp, some kind of chord based off C sharp, because in A, C is sharp. So I have C sharp, E, and G sharp, because those are the notes C, E, and G. So I'm starting up on some kind of C, some kind of E, some kind of G, 1, 3, 5, and then I put the key signature for A, C sharp, G sharp. And that gives me a minor third. So 1 is major, 2 is minor, 3 is minor. Next one would be D. So I have D, F sharp, and A. Now what's cool is that is correct, or major rather, not correct. That is major for D. It's the same key signature for A as it is for D. So that makes it a major 4 chord. Next is E, and we're almost done there. We have E, G sharp, and B, which makes it a major 5 because I have 1, 3, and 5 in E. It just happens to also share the same sharps that I would use for A. I'm never going to remember which way is left and right looking at this camera. So yeah, same key signature as A. All right, we've got two more. Next one is F sharp because I'm in the key of A major. So F sharp, A, obviously, because I'm in A, and C sharp. This gives me a minor 6. So I have major, minor, minor, major, major, minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our last one, our 7 chord, is the only one that's different here. And you're about to see why. So it's going to be built off of a G sharp. So I need 1, 3, and 5 in G sharp, but using A's key signature, A major's key signature. That's what diatonic chords are. So I have G sharp, B, and D. Now in G sharp, I'm supposed to have a B sharp and a D sharp if it were major. Because I have 1, flat 3, flat 5 in G sharp, that actually makes it a diminished chord. So my diatonic chords for major looks like this. I have major 1, minor 2, minor 3, major 4, major 5, minor 6, and diminished 7. And this is the pattern that is diatonic to all major keys. Not just A, not just C. This is for every key, every major key. Your 1 chord, again, never going to remember left and right. Your 1 chord is always major. Your 2 chord is always minor. Your 3 chord is always minor, 4 major, 5 major, minor, and diminished. And that is, I'm saying it's always that way if you're using diatonic chords. That's not to say that if you're in the key of A major, you can't play, a C natural. It's just going to stand out because there's really no such thing as right and wrong notes. But, that's another topic for another day. But if you're sticking to chords that you want to sound pretty good, you can rest assured that these are going to sound good, pretty pleasing to the ears. You can use diatonic chords. So here's your pattern. You don't really need to think about the notes that you make in your chords too much anymore. Thanks for watching.